Hello, I just wanted to do a very brief, quick kind of first impressions video on the new running watch I recently bought. It's the TomTom Runner 2. I believe it's called the TomTom Spark as well. And yeah, just wanted to give my, like I say, initial impressions and also some things that I've discovered about it that I'm not too impressed with, but some other things that I am quite impressed with. So first of all, let's just take the thing off. It's got quite a nice rubberized strap. I did have the TomTom Runner 1 before this, and the TomTom Runner 1 is basically, well, just a more basic version. The strap comes away from the watch itself, so this really is the watch. It's this little GPS receiver, and on the back it has a heart rate monitor, and it also has some other interesting features. This is the version that has the MP3 player built into it. And so you can use the wireless headphones that you have to send away from TomTom to stream music from the watch to the headset. So you don't really need to use an iPod anymore. However, there is a caveat with that, which I'll come to in a second. First of all, I just wanted to show you the watch itself. It's a lot more, well, it's a lot longer than or taller even than the TomTom Runner 1. But like I say, it does have a lot more features, such as the heart rate monitor on the back, the MP3 player, and some other different functions. This is a multi-sport watch, so you've got cycling, running, swimming. You can use it on the treadmill, in the gym, and on the indoor cycle. So there's quite a few different modes. I don't know what freestyle is, to be honest. It's also got an activity tracker, which kind of tracks your steps, just by the movement of I'm guessing it does it by wrist. I don't think it's connected to GPS when it's tracking your steps. But that's quite cool because you can set like daily step limit, goals and things. I think it's automatically set to 10,000 steps per day, and then when you reach 10,000 steps, it kind of vibrates and to let you know that you've done your steps for the day. So yeah, the main reason I chose this one really was because of the MP3 player, because I do use an iPod Touch when I'm running, and it's annoying because I have to have the cable going through my shirt collar, then out of my arm collar, and then into the iPod. And sometimes it can get tangled up, or it can get caught on like twigs or whatever if you're running in like a wooded area, whatever. It sounds like a stupid first world problem, but it is actually an issue when you are running like through areas with like branches and things like that. Anyway, so that's the reason I got this version. So I thought to myself, yeah, I can ditch the iPod Touch. I can just put my podcasts or music on the watch and run free, as nature intended. That didn't actually work out as intended, and that's because the headphones are Bluetooth and they can be paired with other things. I paired them with the Mac and also with the iPod just to test them out, to see what they're like. The sound quality is actually really good, and the kind of headphones that they are, they've got this like kind of cup here that kind of slots into the ear and creates a bit of a seal inside the ear. So the bass is really good, and you can't actually hear any outside noise. It does a really good job of blocking off external noise. The issue that I found was that I wear my watch on my right arm. I don't know if you can see my tan line there on my arm from where I've been wearing watches for years on my right arm, and obviously the sun has made the rest of my arm darker, but left that kind of band of untanned, if you want to call it that. Anyway, so I wear my watch on my right arm. I know a lot of people wear them on the left, but that's by the by. When these are on, when this is on your head, like so, imagine my head's in the middle there, the receiver unit is on the left-hand side. Now, I don't know if it's because the transmission from the watch is very weak or what, but because it's on the opposite side of my head and my arm is on the other side of my body, it's as if when I pass my arm, when I'm running, and I'm not explaining this very well, but every time I move my arm past my own head and my head's blocking the line of sight between the receiver and the watch, it cuts out. So it's kind of led me to believe that unless you wear the watch on your left arm on the same side as the receiver is, it's pretty useless. I don't know if I've got an extraordinarily dense head or what, but I also noticed that when I turned my head away from the watch, I resorted to wearing it on my left arm just so I could listen to the podcast that I was listening to. When I turned my head away to like look at things, or when I was crossing a road or whatnot, it would cut out then as well. And it's fully charged, both fully charged, and it was the first time I'd ever used them. And I just wasn't impressed at all with the fact that if you don't wear the watch on the same side as the receiver, the music cuts out, and that's one of the main reasons I bought this actual watch, this model, because of the MP3 function. So that was pretty disappointing. Something else I noticed as well while I was using the watch is, again, to do with the MP3 player functionality. If you want to use the MP3 player functionality, you have to activate it from the main kind of home screen. So you press up, and then it searches for the headphones, and then once it's activated, once the headphones are activated, then it goes into the sort of the music mode, and it shows you your playlists on the screen, which is all fine and good. You can switch between them using backwards and forwards on the little D-pad here at the bottom. The issue is that once you are in an MP3 or you're in a run, eventually, if you stop looking at the watch or you stop messing with it, it will kind of default back to the so like showing you your distance and time, etc. And there's actually no way to go back into the playlists to change your track. So you have to kind of stop the activity that you're doing, basically resetting your time to 0 or whatever, going back into the MP3 option and then choosing a new track. So for example, I was listening to a podcast yesterday. It was a really long podcast. It was about an hour and 20 minutes. And when I got to the end of it, rather than skipping to the next one, because I had about 3 podcasts on it, rather than skipping to the next one, it just went back to the beginning of the current podcast. And I had no way of actually, accessing the music screen to select another podcast without stopping my activity. So I was at like mile 10 or whatever it was, and I had to. I know it's not a major thing, but if you want to be able to carry on keeping a track of your distance without having to add it all up in your head, that's a bit of an annoyance. And there's actually no way of skipping tracks once the watch has gone back to the sort of the status screen of the run. So that's another thing to be aware of. On the whole, though, I am impressed with the amount of things that it tracks. There's loads of different metrics that you can look at and view if that's your bag. Obviously, it uploads everything to Strava and adds heart rate data and extreme suffer scores and all that malarkey if that's what you're interested in. It's just the fact that the MP3 player is pretty poor, really. I'm going to have to go back to using the iPod, unfortunately. Not that that's a bad thing. But yeah, I just wanted to give my initial thoughts and impressions on the TomTom Runner 2. If you are looking at getting one of these, I would probably suggest going for the one that's just got the heart rate monitor on for a bit, for a bit less. Unless you wear your watch on your left arm anyway, then you probably won't have an issue unless you turn your head while you're running, and then it will cut out. But those are my thoughts and impressions. So yeah, thanks for watching.